Did OnePlus just cheat you, me, and even Iron Man? Well, OnePlus had marketed the OnePlus 7 Pro as having a 3x telephoto zoom, but as it turns out, it kinda doesn't. So what actually happened? How does this optical zoom work? That is what I'm going to try to explain in this video. Now if you do find this video useful, please consider turning on notifications by hitting that bell icon. My name's Ash, you're watching C4eTech, and let's get to it. Okay, so first off, guys, OnePlus aren't exactly faking it. Now, with the OnePlus 5, they had a 1.6x zoom camera and the rest 0.4x. Now that was digital interpolation, and they kind of clubbed that together and claimed 2x zoom. Now that was certainly misleading marketing. Now, the situation here, it is different. Let me explain. So for example, let's take this shot that was captured with a DSLR, or rather a mirrorless camera. Now this was captured using a 28mm lens. So a 2x optical zoom, now that should be 56mm, right? This is how the same shot with a 56mm lens looks. Now let's try something else. Say we go back to the 28mm lens shot and crop in 2x. This is kind of what you get. So side by side, 2x crop, 56mm. It is kind of the same, but there is a difference too. Yes, Kratos appears the same, but if you look at the background here, see how the text looks larger in the optically zoomed in shot? Well, this is the difference in perspective. This is how optical zoom differs from a cropped in shot. So okay, now circling back, this is kind of what OnePlus has played here. What they've done here is the difference between the primary and secondary. Now it's actually a 2.2x zoom. But what they've done is the secondary sensor, it's a 13 megapixel sensor, but instead of calling it a 13 megapixel sensor, they're calling it an 8 megapixel sensor. So what are they doing with that 5 megapixels? They're actually cropping in, and they are amounting for that 0.8x zoom. So they're making it 3x zoom. So 2.2x there is optical. The last 0.8x is digital. But we aren't losing any resolution because, well, it's a crop, but we aren't calling it a 13 megapixel, they're calling it 8 megapixels, so they are using up resolution, they aren't marketing it as, so it isn't really fake. But it isn't exactly optical either, because like we saw in the mirrorless camera shots, when you actually crop in, there is a difference in perspective. Now before you get really angry at OnePlus and call this fake, let's take a look at what other brands do as well. For example, Apple or Samsung or anybody else who has a telephoto lens with 2x optical zoom. With these cameras in the past, under low light, none of these cameras actually use the secondary sensors, because generally these secondary sensors come with an f2.4 or 2.2 lens, so that does not let enough light in, so the pictures taken would be too dark. So most of these phones end up resorting to cropping into the primary sensor, so you lose resolution, you also lose out on detail, but that is what you get as a zoom shot whenever you shoot under low light. I mean, these days with the Huawei P30 Pro and other phones which have like 5x or 3x optical zoom, you do switch to the secondary sensor, but with 2x zooms, most of the times what we got was a crop into the primary sensor. Brands have done that, and that's kind of been accepted in the past. Now OnePlus is only taking a 13 megapixel image and cropping into it and calling it 8 megapixel image. So basically, well, it's not technically optical zoom. It is not all that wrong in a way. Now OnePlus, they have responded by changing their marketing to now say 3x lossless zoom, which is perfectly correct. Now basically, if they had done this from the start, we'd have no problem at all. But hey, they didn't, and which is why we are here. Now anyway, hope this video threw some light on the ongoing situation. This isn't to justify what OnePlus did or to bash them. It is basically to explain to you guys what happened and let you draw your own conclusions. So what do you think? Do you feel what OnePlus did was wrong, or do you feel there is some method to what they did? There is some, I mean, you are okay with what they did? Let me know in the comments below. What do you feel about the OnePlus 7 Pro? What do you feel about this entire situation? What's your opinion? I think guys, that's pretty much it. As always, thumbs up, thumbs down based on however you felt about this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Here are a couple of videos for you to check out and a link to my other channel FTJ. Go ahead, check that out if you haven't. Maybe you'd end up liking it. So I guess that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.